All right, hello everyone. So today is Wednesday, the 23rd. I've already put the Astro Hours on the website. So this is how it is. This was yesterday. Remember, we were expecting the market to come up into that 1906, and then I said it could be sellable. Pretty close to 1906. As you can see, we came to 1904. Astro Hours right here. Astro Hours right here. If you sold, this is also an Astro Hour, as you can see, and then the market picked up again in between those 2 hours here, going all the way up into that zone. All right, so no big deal. Now today's first hour is going to be here. As you can see, there's a big gap here on the daily. Remember I said we'd get up here. Those are the targets there. So we've got that 42, still 1906. And what else have I got? 41, 1904, 1905, and that's it. Okay, so we've still got that zone. This is 1906, but this blue zone is what you've got to be looking after as well. On the weekly, remember, we've got 45, which is 1911. So if you think about it, we still got 1905, 1911 on the cards. All right, so it's the same kind of setup for yesterday. So if we come up into this zone, into that zone, we'll be selling towards the downside. Now 1911 is here. It's right on the edge here. Whoops. Okay, so it's right on the edge here, 1911, which is that bar. So going up there is okay for us to sell off. On the weekly, it's going to be a good buy kiss. All right, so that's how it is. On the monthly, you can see we've got a breach on the PST, and that's really nicely engulfing here, and it's the 23rd. So if we close down here this month, then on the pull-ups we'll be selling even lower into this zone. All right, so if you want to sell up there, it looks like it's okay to do so. And that's it. Euro SB US 500. Let's take a look at that. Now US 500. Yesterday we had that 4,430.20 zone there. Market comes up right into the Astro Hours, crashes down into the next Astro Hours here, and as you can see here, and that's all good. If I take a look at the daily, as you can see, we're going down, so I want to be selling on levels the market is heading up towards, and you can see yesterday they sold right on the PST. Today's PST is 44.13, which is 4,421, which is down here. Okay, this is for today. Yesterday it was whatever it was for yesterday, that's what it was for yesterday, but this week it's up. Today it's here, and that's on the daily. On the weekly, we still have the opportunity to go up a little bit. Now the low of this bar here is 4,442. You want to keep that in mind. All right, 4,442, and on the daily you've got the low of that bar there, 4,442. Okay, and that's fine. So what about this one? 4,449. So this is not a bad zone either. 4,442 to 4,449, which is exactly there actually. So this is also a nice target where we can sell off from. Okay, now this is a good time zone also. But there is a few gaps here. So what you want to do is this. As you can see, there's a big gap here. Okay, now this big gap here doesn't mean nothing is going to happen. Okay, but today the main action is going to be New York, and whatever starts off may head towards that adjustment zone. Okay, so remember also yesterday I said if the market breaks out, for example, here we had a breakout, right? And then the market comes back into the Astro Hour, you can go up to the target, and then it's an Astro Hour at the target, and then you can just slide down from the target. So it's all a matter of matching the price to time. Now this weekly pivot is also for us, as you know, important. So what can we do here is you can still do a sell here, okay? But if it breaks out, you can go up with it again. So if it breaks out, what can you do? Let's say we're at the Astro hours here, it broke up. When it comes back to the daily or weekly, you can go along with a stop loss just under there to head up into this zone or possibly into that zone. All right, that's how you can do it. If the market goes down, then on a smaller time frame it'll come up, then you can sell off to push down, because on the daily, if I go to the daily here, you see we've got that HCL1, which is 4340. On the weekly, well, we've got 4327. So 4340 and 27. All right? So that could come all the way into that zone. And that's fine, as you can see. Okay, it's logical, it's in that zone. Okay, if I go back there, this is where the whole thing just picked up. So coming back in there is all right. Okay, euro dollar, let's take a look. That's the 15-minute chart yesterday. That's your 10:30 there. And then the market came all the way into the Astro hours. They're nice and easy. As you can see here as well, that's the weekly. The market breaks it, goes up into the Astro hour, okay, and then goes back down. Remember, these were the targets down here, so that's all good. Now let me get rid of this. Let's take a look at the daily. Now here, remember yesterday we said we could go up. The market did go up and then came back down. This is the Venus line, so we have to be a bit careful here. There's still room for a pull up into this zone this week. Let's take a look. It's already done that, I think. 50, 96, 1.0903, 1.0903, that's already done. And what was the other one? 54, 1.0978, 50 odd, 1.0903. On the daily, we may still go up into the 51, 0948. So okay, so this is what we could do. 0948 is still a target, so we're going to keep this as a target here now. Okay. Weekly period is still a target. On the downside, we still have room to go because the trend is down. Remember, we want to be selling at some level at the tops and then pushing it down. Now on the price, you've got here 1.0915 on the weekly, which is what the market did. 1.0915 is up here. Okay, yesterday. Right, 1.0915 is there. So that's that. All right, and that was the Astro. So on the price as well, if you're using the PST indicator on the price and on the indicator, you got room to go up and down and sell in between those lines. Now today, the market comes down here. You're looking at, let's take a look at this, 7:10 as well here. All right, so you got 7:10. If the market comes down, you can go up. If it goes up, you can sell off. Now today, the daily pivot is right there. Okay, and the market can go up a little bit in order to sell off, and they can sell off at the daily pivot as well. If it breaks above that, you're going to be in a sandwich zone between the daily and the weekly. Okay, so be mindful there. If it comes down, it's buyable at the Astro hours to push up. In this zone, it's sellable, and if it decides to go higher, just be mindful. You can sell off at the weekly, you can sell off here, and there is your PST right at the top. Okay, so all you have to do is just have a bias, and then trade when the time matches your price, like yesterday, right there. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Bitcoin. Now this is Dow Jones, same kind of setup here. Now remember, Astrals yesterday, New York session. Let's take a look. Let's just put these here. Okay, that's 315, which we had 315 yesterday. Okay, and then we had all the way down here we had what, 8:15, 9, 10, 10 past 9 is there. All right, so 15-minute chart, so that's your 10 past 9 happening there. And then we had also 7:45, that's your 6, that's your 7:30, 7:45 there, and that's basically it. Okay. And 11:30 is somewhere around there. Okay, so this was yesterday. Nice and easy, market going up in order to be sold. All right, and if you bought it in order to sell, you would have got in at 10:30 and 8:50. 8:50 is there. 10:30 is there. All right, so that would have been it. Those were targets we had before. Nice and easy. Now remember, I said this is the trend line and it needs to break. Okay, so what we want to do is obviously go up for a sell, and there's a bit of a gap here the market needs to and wants to fill out. When it does, if it breaks above here, you can see you've got room to go up. Okay, so there's room to go up and there's room to fill in here. So if the market wants to buy, it could come down in order to go up, which is 24 and 22, and that's going to be 34, 134, 34, 134. Let's do that. 34, 134, somewhere around there. Okay, and this one's going to be 987 there. So the market also still has some room to come down before going up. Okay, as you can see here at 24.53. Okay, 34.134. On the weekly, as you can see, we also have room to come down to. Going up to 55 is too far out. So as you can see, that's like quite a bit out there. But if it gets up here, this is a really, really good sell level. Okay. And on the daily, let's see if there's a, if it goes up, we're going to 39, 34.553. Let's see, 34.553 is about here. All right. So selling in this zone as at yesterday, like yesterday, or there is okay. Also selling here is also okay. You can see yesterday they sold down here. So if you want to sell here as well, that's also okay. Nasdaq, same kind of scenario here. As you can see, yesterday 315 is right there. 745 is there, and your 915 is about there. Okay, 915, 9 o'clock is there. All right, so nicely pulling down here. Going up to sell again is also doable. Okay, so as you can see, the market's doing that now. It's done that level. Remember, we had those levels yesterday. The red line plus the red dotted line just above it. Why does it do that? It does that because it goes and takes out the stops, pushes it down, and that's why. All right, so selling again is not a bad idea. You can sell slightly higher in this zone as well. Just mark that level down. That's around 1520, 15,020, that is. And here what we have is if it breaks out, if it goes above this 44, which is 14,976. Don't stand in front of it too much, let it just do what it needs to do. Okay, but this is not a bad spot to sell. It's right on the daily. Okay, as you can see. And we have an Astro hour, 7:10, which is in that bar. Right, so the market coming down a little bit is doable. Coming into this zone is doable. The weekly pivot is doable to push down again. On the weekly, you can see it's a big push down. Now, because there's a bit of a buy pressure here, why? Because the market's always waving, right? So going up to sell is also on the cards. So make sure your money management is in place. Just trade off the price levels at the right hour, and that's the way to go. Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, remember I said no selling at the lows here, because we're right in this zone. As you can see, the market's buying here, and I did say it's logical. If you want to go long, you can do it from the lows here, because there's room to fill in. Okay, so the market coming back to retest, to go up, to fill up is good. So you can buy a dip. Okay, if the market comes down into here or fills in the gap here, if it comes down into an Astro hour, you can go up into that zone to fill in the gaps, and your gaps are going to be around here. So you can see that 27,300 zone is okay for a target, but it's done all the targets in the short term, so be careful. Don't buy and jump in here. Just make sure the market comes down before you do any buying, because this should also break down. Okay,